And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and.
Hey everybody, happy Sunday everybody. You already know this is Waifu Views. Welcome. I am Ebony Moonbeam. You can find me at Ebony_Moonbeam on basically all social media platforms. I'm a cosplayer and I'm 1/3 of this beautiful host. We have a co-host coming in a little bit later, but go on and introduce yourself, Shar.
I am a Shar of Honey, like a jar of honey, only sweeter. You can find me at a Shar of Honey on all platforms.
Alrighty. So before we get into it, please like, share, subscribe to the Blurred Cartel on all social media platforms. They have a bunch of great shows. Also, Blurred Official is on YouTube. Blurred.com is the hub that all of us reside under, and you can find articles and merch, the works. And we also have a Waifu Views Facebook page now, guys. So whenever you get some time, feel free to like and follow that as well. We're going to be putting all our shows on there, and we have a lot of great stuff coming your way. So today we're going to be talking about two different things. We're going to be talking about the animated short Burning Rubber, which premiered in March of 2023 on HBO Max. And they actually had a special screening at DreamCon, and us two ladies were there. So we wanted to talk about that. It is an 8-minute anime short. It is done by a Black-owned studio that prides themselves in creating fun and engaging story-driven animations. The director is Chris Fakari, which is an animator, illustrator, and author. He is from Brooklyn, and he's the creative director of Real Black Studios. The other half of that wonderful duo is Dara Queen, and she's the EP and writer. So we have a quick trailer for you on Burning Rubber, and then we're going to get into it.
Hey, yo! We at the first ever Burning Rubber Coney Island opens. Who's gonna step up and take these stacks?
Nuh-uh. Doesn't have the money for the past 2 months. Ripper could buy all this war bosh. Hold up. What is this?
Wait, sis, please!
Alrighty. So the story covers, and it's an epic action-packed anime about wall ball and life as a struggling young adult in New York City. The protagonist, Dwayne Ruiz, which is also known as the Glizzy Kid, must choose between entering the Burning Rubber wall ball tournament or his responsibilities at home and at work. If Dwayne enters the tournament, he will face challenging players that unexpectedly transform into fearsome opponents, but a win will change his fortune and his future forever. So this was actually really cute. I actually really enjoyed this. How did you feel about it?
Okay. I actually really enjoyed it. I think that it was very well done, especially for just an 8-minute short. I think that it's nice to see animation that is built around our culture and being Black and using that vernacular and everything that goes along with it. But I actually enjoyed it. Uh,
But I agree with you. I loved seeing the perspective. The animation was done really, really well. Um,
yeah.
and to know that all of the voice actors, and for the most part, everybody that worked on the team were people of color, was really satisfying, to say the least. I definitely hope that we're going to get more of from them, but also of that particular short, because yeah, maybe because I'm used to 20-minute anime. I was like, this is not enough. I want more. But it definitely gets all the points across. As someone that's not from New York but has visited and has family up there. I felt like it was true to the culture. The hairstyles, the looks, even in a style where you see it's like kind of black and white, with a little pop
Yeah,
of color here and there, it was still really engaging.
definitely. And I actually kind of appreciated that it was in black and white on that like grayscale because it allowed for a lot to show and you can see the little details in the animation where even like I call the iceberg dude, I think
Yeah,
reminds me so much of Killer Bee.
he
Like
did.
his
He
whole
did.
look. He reminds me of Killer Bee, but just even while he's playing in the transition that happens with like his like whole outfit and his persona, I thought was really like well done because it reflects like Japanese anime where you see how the antagonist and the protagonist kind of react to each other and how they fight and their fighting styles and all of that. It was very
Hmm.
like reminiscent of that. Yeah, he looks like Killer Bee to me so much, down to the
Yeah,
head, head wrap,
he
the do
was.
rag.
And I love that when he gets into action, he shows off his grills, and then it like you see that it says iceberg on it and stuff. And when you
Yeah,
watch the short, you'll understand why he goes by iceberg. So that's really cool. This is the poster. And it's funny because I don't know if it's because I'm like addicted to blue lock, but I don't know why I like that blue
I was gonna say
popping.
the
Like
same
it just
thing.
I was
Yeah,
like, oh, I love this.
but
So
I
this
like
scene,
that it was.
yeah,
Yeah,
I really
I
loved
like
it.
that too.
And I like
But
that,
I like that it
even though
was
it was in the
like
black. Sorry.
no, no, we're talking at the same time. Go ahead.
I think it's probably a slight delay, but the blue when they show the handball always like really stands out, and they have like the sounds, and I've been enjoyed some of the cursing, like the profanity and stuff, because that's
Yes.
genuinely like how we talk, and it's not always in a negative way, but never feel complete. Like if I say this girl, like it just doesn't have the same effect unless I say like this bitch. You know what I mean? So I just really appreciated that, and all of these characters, even though we didn't get to see an immense amount of them or really know their backgrounds, they were still really interesting to watch.
Definitely. And I agree on the blue because it did remind me a lot of Blue Lock, especially it being kind of like a sports anime, you know?
Hmm.
I appreciated like the reminiscence of regular Japanese anime. It fit in like perfectly for me. Even the like all the details, the character, the little boy who was
He was
like
so
egging him
cute.
on. I thought he was perfect because he's like he
He was like,
reminds you
"Get your
so
shit
much of
together."
like just yeah, he just reminds you of like little boys like you actually see in like daily life. Like he just has that
Hmm.
vibe. Like, come on, man. Like Lizzie boy, get your
You can tell
come
he
on.
looked up to him. He can tell he looked up to
Yeah.
him, and I think growing up, especially if you've grown up in the hood, like there's always that kid that like you want to set a better example. You want to show them like they can do something different and stuff. And so I like that, and I enjoyed that they didn't. Though you can tell that they're in New York, and I want to say they were in Brooklyn, but they didn't make it overly like the stereotype that we're always in the hood and all that stuff. I just felt like it was your typical landlord situation, like that crosses over to all aspects of people, really, in a lot of different classes. You get behind on rent, and but you have this landlord that's already lets you slide like a couple of months,
All
and
right.
stuff. So everything from that, having the guy that he works for support him in the end. I thought that was really cool, and it made sense to me. The vibe that it gave me was like Spike Lee, and the Spike Lee meets a
Yes.
sports anime.
Yes, that's like exactly it because it did have that Spike Lee feel of like like it was the perfect blend of like culture anime like put together.
Hmm.
It was just like that.
That's what I like to. If they really start delving into really good black anime and black animation, I would love to see more of things like this.
Yes.
I
Hey,
love
Miss
this.
Morgan.
Hey.
Sorry I'm late. I did love it. The only part that bothered me was that he had to steal and then was embarrassed in front of
Oh,
everybody for it.
true, true.
I thought that was a good punishment, though. Like he really could have called the cops on him or anything like that. I don't want to talk too much about it because it's so short that we
Yeah.
don't want to spoil it. But I did not like that scene, but I also thought it was good that he was reprimanded. He embarrassed him, but it could have been a lot worse for what he did technically. So I was like,
Hmm.
that's the old head saying, I'm going to handle you the way I need to handle you, but I don't have to get the cops involved. Like, and I appreciated
Okay, you
that.
Right.
have a point. Yeah, that's true. It could have gone a whole lot worse than it did. You're right.
Now, I was
I'll
really
take your
bummed about
argument.
the ending, though. I was bummed about the ending.
Listen.
I was like, y'all better give us more so we know what happens next because, and that's a very real thing that happens in real life. Like, but golly, I felt for the man. I was like, that's
It
how you gonna end it? Cool.
Hmm.
but it got me because it's real life. Like just when you think you're finally getting ahead, some
Hmm.
comes and like brings you back to reality.
Oh
So
yeah.
that was the part that like I was watching it like no, I must have missed something. There has to be more. like I was
Yeah.
waiting for that like oh redemption like something, but it never came.
Well,
I
I
knew it was going to
tagged
be
them on the
short, but
post, so hopefully they watch this and realize that we need to know what happened next.
Yeah,
we have to know it. Not that we want to, we have to know what happens.
have
Oh
to.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. For the whole theme of it, do you like it? Did you not like it? We're just gonna run through a couple of categories and then we're gonna get into the next segment. But the theme of like wall ball. Have y'all ever played wall ball? Experienced wall ball? Oh, you have?
I
Oh,
was
you
a
a wall
beast
ball
at wall
gal?
Uh,
ball. I was a beast at wall ball. I
Ooh,
played
we
wall
y'all
call
don't want
like
to
at
you.
our
say honey
school.
sharp.
Nah, because at our school, at my elementary school, that was like the game to play at recess was wall ball,
Mm,
and I never lost. Okay, like that was my
Ooh,
game. So that's why I did like
okay,
really kind of I liked this like because handball isn't really like wall ball isn't really like a big thing for a lot of people. So I
right.
like seeing that again.
What about you, Aish?
um, I played growing up, but it was more so middle school, and that game is real. Like they don't even like emphasize how much athleticism you need for that game. It's fun. You got to be moving, and that ball
Mm-hmm.
hurts if you get hit by it. Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm. Stings.
Mm-mm. Let me tell you. So, I like the game when I was growing up was Foursquare.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that was my thing, Foursquare and Red Rover. Because even when I was small, I was solid and I was coming through like a linebacker. So, if I would have had wall ball like things, I don't know how that would have went. Like, I'm sad I missed that, but
Oh,
I thought would have been dangerous for some people's health if I was in if I was playing wall ball, especially the way they were playing it because they really turned it up to where it was similar to like a sports anime where this is action packed. They got like superpowers and stuff, but I like that
special
they kind of
moves.
came out of that though to where you know that like it's kind of the way you see it, but they're also breaking the fourth wall. Like there's a moment where he
Mm.
says, what are you doing with armor on?" But then as it progresses, then he doesn't have the armor on anymore. And I was like, I
Mhm.
like that. That's cool. That's a vibe. The story. Did we well, we kind of already mentioned that we liked how the story went.
Mm-hmm.
Um we jumped more of a conclusion, so we don't really need to delve into that one. Animation. It was crispy.
It was
No, it
I've
was
well done.
crispy
seen
the
worse
grill.
animation in mainstream anime.
The
Yeah.
Let me tell
iceberg
you
dude,
that.
his grill. Oh, I can't. It was
Yeah.
on point though, very detailed.
It was like you could see his landlord. First off, she was gorgeous. They made her beautiful, and just like her hairstyles and like the pop of her gold earrings and stuff. I was like, the attention to detail is really on and popping, and I'm here for it. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Speaking of the drip, y'all, I'm gonna put y'all on game before the end of this episode about where this came from, because it has a lot of stuff. It has like a whole thing in the back, and
Ooh.
I'm gonna tell y'all where to find it at the end of this episode. Representation. We said that obviously a lot of the people that worked on this, as well as the voice actors, were people of color. Did we appreciate that? What was it? Was it a nice change? Was it me, or did the voice actor for Dwayne sound a little bit like Miles Morales?
He did. He
I've
did.
meant to look and see if that was the same guy, which I don't think it is, but they sounded pretty similar.
Yeah. I appreciated I appreciated that it was both created and it interpret people of color in the actual like anime. So, but it
Mhm.
wasn't just like all the characters weren't just, black. It was multiracial, which is reminiscent
Mm-hmm.
of like Brooklyn, New York, all that. So I did
Even out
appreciate it
here.
that it was. Yeah, definitely out here. But
So
yeah, it was
Yeah,
nice to like see that portrayed instead of just like one kind of monoracial anime.
I love
right.
that as well, because we're not a monolith, and like especially New York, it's a hodgepodge of so many different races and cultures and different ways of life. So it was nice that even in something that was only 8 minutes, you were able to see that and pull that from there.
It was 8 minutes.
It
It
was
felt so
only
much
eight
shorter, but
minutes.
I enjoyed it.
It was only 8 minutes. And actually, the collection that it falls under on Max has a couple of other shorts.
Hmm.
I watched them all. I recommend you checking them out. But this one we really wanted to focus on because it kind of leads into our next topic, which is Black hair in media as well as Black representation in media. So we've seen over the years, like we've all seen, especially if you watch Anime Man, you have all seen, the correlation with us and stuff like Mr.
Mm.
Popo, the really over the top, unnecessarily horribly drawn, like big lips, not really doing us justice. But over the years, animation and mainstream media has progressed. But this conversation is really going to be about if we feel like it's progressed enough. And the way that we're going to kind of start that off is we're going to pull up different Black animated characters, and we are going to we're not rate their hair. We're going to decide if we want to keep it the same way or revamp it for 2023. So first up we have is we already, we're gonna start out with your girl, your Richie.
Oh, I love her.
So this is two different forms of Yororichi's hairstyles, which we all like. I love to see progression in animation because we have a tendency to not like that we our characters typically stay exactly the same, and to me that's kind of lame because it's not realistic. But what do we think? Do we want to keep it? Did it do her justice? Do we want to change it? Like, is this a vibe for 2023?
Oh, so I love her as a character. Do I feel like her hair should be a little more ethnic? Yes. But I
Really?
get why it's like that. For the anime she's in itself, you don't really see hair outside of that like that. So I would
Well, you got Don Kanoji. That man got a whole fro.
different type of hair. Otherwise, it's just a hair color change.
Mm-hmm.
So I love her though. I don't want to change her because of her iconic look.
I like the
Uh,
pony, and I'm a sucker for colored hair. So for me, I feel like in 2023 that reads well. Like to me, this looks like a bomb ass lace, a colored lace front. You feel me? Like with the bang, she got to move around, so she pulled it up in a ponytail,
But
and
it's
it
got to
and
be
it
a
worked.
360 lace front though.
And not necessarily, like. Magic can be made.
Okay.
See, I keep it. It reminds me of like the posters in the beauty shop. That was like number 14,
Yes.
where it was like gelled in that like curl, and then like even the ponytail
Hmm.
with those little layers. That's iconic.
Yeah, that was a
Like
whole
that's always
look.
gonna be on the beauty shop wall. I was like, I want that 14, just like that. I keep
Yep.
it. I feel like it goes through the times. It's still cute.
Yeah, I'd keep it. You're gonna keep it, Ash, or you want it to be a little bit more Afro centric? Because is
If
it
she
black
wasn't
characters or melanated
as,
characters? Because
well, let's
Afro
see, who's it?
looks should be reserved for. I missed the last part of it.
Yeah, I did too.
Because she already has this look and this is a look we know, we can stick with it. But if she wasn't who she was, I would say tweak it just a tad bit.
Like
The color
maybe
is
make it
cool.
like a body wave, like a deep wave, but still do the pony.
Something. But again, I get it. I'll let her be.
Okay. She's like, I'll leave
I
her
get
be.
it.
Trust me, there's a lot of Afrocentric hair on this list, so you're just gonna be satisfied. I promise. Okay, next up we have Oob from Dragon Ball. What you think? Now, mind you, some of these people are not necessarily black; they're people of color, but you know, same thing, representation.
Can I just say he looks like Mr. T?
It wouldn't surprise me if they somehow,
It looks like
did that
the alternative
because he
version.
does. I've never noticed that. As many times as I've watched Dragon Ball Z, I have never thought about Mr. T, and now I can't unsee it.
Sorry.
But what do we think? Do we like it? I like the mohawk. I do.
I like the mohawk. I think maybe if he had like a taper fade on the side or something, it like would
Mm-hmm.
add to it. But I like it as is, but I still want like a little bit of double or hair on the side. So that's just me.
I agree. I could
Less Mr.
see
T-ish.
it being tapered, just like you said, maybe a nice little squiggly line or something like that, and then the hawk. Like I would do that
Okay.
for 2023 as well. I like that. You got anything, Aisha? Or you agree? Look, she's like, I want to change everything. You are always the problem child when we are doing these.
Yes. No. So, yeah, give him a little design and we good.
Yeah, I think we're good with the design. Maybe even a little slit in the eyebrow to match the
Ooh
taper.
yeah.
Yeah,
There
see,
we go.
I'm aging you up too much, Oob. Like I'm low key making my perfect man. We need to reel it on back in. But next up, we have the Canary from Hunter x Hunter, the queen of giving us Afrocentric hair
Keep
in
it.
anime.
Keep it. I'm not touching that little girl. I'm not touching her. I love her hair. Keep it.
You can't.
Keep it.
There's nothing that I would do differently with that. Even the older 99 version where it was red, burgundy red, it slays. Like you can't go wrong with that look. And like I know y'all have seen the cosplays of this with people's natural hair, and I'm just like,
It's
Perfect.
a beautiful thing.
Perfect.
and it's realistic because sometimes you see like hair in animation, and you're like, hair does not do that without 8,000 pounds of hairspray. There's no way to like sustain that style. And so to be able to actually see it done in the real world, you're like, this is an actual look. Like, this is a twist out, a
And she
fire
killed
ass
it.
twist out. Yeah.
It fits her so well, man.
Mm-hmm. With the suit, girl, you did that in '99, in the 2000s, and in 2023. We're here for it. Okay, so well, we can just move on along. Next is Killick Rung from Soul Eater, and
This, he got it. I
he
like it.
got it.
I like
Like
it.
it don't even need if he don't even grow his hair out anymore and just keeps it short like that. It
That's
works
good.
with the frame of his face, with the glasses. They did
And
a really good job. Like Soul Eater in general, in my opinion, does a really good job with hair. Like overall across the board with, Death the Kid with the white stripes, and even Soul, his hair is cool, and that reads later on in Fire Force because we're gonna have Ogun on here. So, I feel like they know what black hair should look like, and they're like, we're not gonna play in y'all face.
Yeah, I was gonna say because like with Fire Force, I know he's coming up, but I do like the way that they did this with him.
Hmm.
It's it fits. You've seen somebody with this hairstyle before.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. The only thing that used to get me, which
Ooh.
it doesn't look bad here, but in some things, like for instance, the black girl from Daria, when you have like when they would animate people with braids and stuff, like the parts would be really spaced out and
Oh,
look really wonky.
yeah.
So it's not done here, but I'm glad that they've worked on how that looks because it used to look crazy.
Yeah. It was very Tyler Perry
Okay.
wiggish.
Yes. Next up, we have Nathan Seymour and Slay, honey. Like, I don't know if I would change anything about that personally, but I just feel like it's so edgy and it fits his character.
Um, I can say the only thing I like about that is the color. If it wasn't pink, I'd have a real issue. 'Cause
Okay.
it it fits the show's design style. Uh, if I saw that in person, I'd be like, who did it and why?
I can go with
I
It
don't
that.
gives it
know.
gives diversity. It gives other.
I like it
It's because of
in
the
like the
color.
weirdest way.
Look
Giving
at this
Dennis
look.
Rodman.
Oh, very much so.
Yes, but who doesn't love Dennis Rodman?
Right.
It's a look. Like you have to be a very confident individual to say, I'm gonna pull off this style and slay it. I feel like he's a backup dancer for Beyonce.
He very much would.
Like
It
that's what it's given,
that's
and I'm
true.
and I'm here for it. If we had to switch up anything, like would we want, is it the color that we would want to get rid of, or is it the style?
Tweak the style, not like a complete overhaul, but just a little tweaking. Because I feel like if we saw it in person, it looks like he's bald just right here. Like that part
Yeah,
is huge.
now the part is huge. I think it looks smaller in the other picture though. But just like that color brings out his skin tone.
Mm,
I really enjoy it.
Yeah, the
I
color.
don't know what
I
I
love the
would want
color.
out of him. Like to
it
switch it
fits.
up. Yeah, like it fits him when I try and think of like, okay, what other styles would I put on him? I just don't see anything outside of being this, because if we did anything else, then he wouldn't look as edgy. I feel like we'd be muting him. You know what I
It's
mean?
still
We'd turn him into
it's like
something boring.
it's a very ballroom look. Like you see, you just yeah, like it goes. You just wanna what's it leg up? It goes.
Yes,
I see
very,
it.
very Vogue.
I can't unsee it now. Thanks, Shy.
So next up we have Sister Crone from Promise Neverland, and yeah, like
This for me, this for me is like a yes no. It's a yes because natural hair texture, but because of how they wrote her character, very like to me kind of mammy style a little bit, it
yes,
takes away from like I can't separate that fully.
I agree.
I'm not sure how I fully feel about it, but
Because of that
I just hate how she was
character
written.
type, that character trope, which is one of those things where we've seen in mainstream for years, where black actors were always cast as the maid or stuff like that. Black actresses were cast as the maid and stuff. And so when you see this character and you get this, just like you said, that mammy vibe, is it makes it very hard to appreciate the natural texture. It almost feels like they are trying to give us, like, take us back a couple of decades, and I
Mm,
don't like that. And maybe it's just the chaoticness of it, instead of it being a little bit more tapered and formed, because people go out in their natural hair and stuff like that, natural coils or froze and stuff. But and we're gonna see later on this list, but there's like some uniform to it
mm-hmm.
without it looking like I just
Like a
rode
lopsided fro, like
around.
this.
I just decided I was going to walk out. I didn't brush my hair in 2 days, and that's kind of what it's giving here. Like, I could go with this if it was a little bit fuller and more neat.
I
Okay.
I could I could ex- I think if her character was different, it's still because I wouldn't if I saw someone out and about like this, I'd be like, oh, cute, natural hair. But it's there's a distortion for me because of how her character is written that I don't know if they wrote it with intent to be natural or if they wrote it with intent to be stereotypical. So that's where I'm like I appreciate the natural hair. That's as far as I can get with this character.
I feel like because of the type of character that she was, it was to be stereotypical. That's like, if I had to guess, that's either they were genuinely going for that, like that was the character trope that they had chose for her, and so the hair
Right.
made sense, or they were like, well, nobody that's this maid style character would have like neat and tidy hair. And she is dealing with kids all day, so my hair would probably stand up like this too. But that goes to like the representation and the character types that we see in any type of media, where we can just kind of get boxed in and stuck in these just stereotypical ignorant tropes that aren't really us, that they some of them were never us, and some of them have, like, we've evolved past that because of our own circumstances in the world.
Right.
So, what do we want to change this to? Let's just go in and change it. Let's change it. If we changed it, what would it look like for 2023?
So I've never seen the show. So I'm going just off of this picture. So I don't know how she's written. I don't know the character like that. Just based off of what you guys have said, it's like maybe we should change it if that's or the vibe everybody's getting from it is kind of stereotypical.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna leave this mostly in your guys' hands for this one.
I agreed with Shar that it doesn't necessarily, if it wasn't for this the character type, it probably wouldn't need to be changed. I feel like she's really well drawn, even, like her nose and her lips. They're still very accurate to me, and they don't look like a caricature type deal. So, and I think she's drawn beautifully. She's just crazy as hell, first off. And yeah, go watch season one, girl. You won't be mad at season one.
Yeah, season two
uh,
you get mad.
yeah, that sounds like you won't be mad at season one. It's excellent, but you can just skip season two if you want to. Um, I would just say I would probably want to see more. I would want it to be more better formed, I guess. I don't know how to word that.
See,
Like,
that's
I still like the free look, but it's just like here and here and here and here. Like, I don't mind that it's out here. It's just it doesn't look like she
but
did
see,
a whole lot of make like this wasn't like this isn't it doesn't look like this is something that she does intentionally. It's just like she wakes up and this is how her hair is when she wakes up.
but for me, I don't think I'm not against that. I
Mm-hmm.
love freeform like locks. Like I think those are
Same.
dope. So like I said, it's just that it's this character where like you don't know the intent behind creating this look because there's not a lot of black characters in this anime, so you have really nothing to base it off of.
Right.
But I like her hair. I just was it made with like bad intent or not is what's like I wouldn't change it if it was like a different character. I wouldn't change her hair.
Gotcha. Well, then let's go on to the next one. We'll leave you alone, girl. Ogun. So see, with Ogun, for instance, the parting on the side is about the same width that we had with Nathan, but I think it's less
Yeah.
noticeable because of the color and just I think his face shape. But I
Yeah.
think they did an
Um,
excellent job with his character.
Leave him as is.
she already
That's where
said
I'm sitting
it.
with it. Just leave him as is. I love it.
Yeah,
Hairstyle fits. It. The one thing I love about
personality.
black hair is it does make you pop, and I feel like
Mm-hmm.
his features pop because his hair is darker.
Right. I
Mm,
agree.
I love it.
I cannot deny that one.
I'd keep it as
Okay.
is. I like it.
I like it too. Do we like his character type on the show? Do we feel like he's a good
I
representation of?
I think I like him.
I
I
love him.
do.
I think it's great. He doesn't take as much of a back seat to the main character as we see in other anime. He's showcased a lot. He's really strong. He's funny. He doesn't shy away from his roots. He still sounds and carries on, in my opinion, very much like somebody that I would hang out with back home and stuff. His voice actor is black, so that's
Hmm.
Zeno Robinson. So we
Amen.
he's excellent. Can't go wrong with him. So keep being great, Ogun from Fire Force. We love you. And yo, like when he takes off his shirt and then like his
That's how
skin
I'm going.
glows, love
That's
it.
tight.
Okay, next up is Miyuki. She's just adorable. Do we like it?
This is cute.
It
Yeah,
is the textured pigtails is everything.
I love it, and I haven't seen anything like that really, where it's the pigtails and it looks like locks, and she even has a bang. She has like little
Look,
locks bang
oh,
in the bang. Yeah,
she's adorable.
yeah, she's cute. Like, if my mom had decided that she was going to lock my hair when I was a kid, I would hope that she did this. Oh, Ogun was
Mhm.
named after an African god. You learn something new every day.
Yeah.
Every day, because I had
Oh
no
yeah,
idea.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I knew that.
Oh, I knew that one.
Okay,
Yeah.
see, look at her, just keeping
Right.
the knowledge to herself.
That's like one
Mm-hmm.
of my favorite pastime is African gods and goddesses.
Ooh,
Mm. Well, we may have to do some um looks and stuff closer to Halloween, do some more cosplay episodes. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're not gonna change anything about that one. We got Killer B up next, which we all know is basically Hulk Hogan but tan.
mm,
And
mm. I still
yeah,
feel like the Hidden Cloud Village is the hood
it
of
is.
Naruto.
That's where we all live. That's where we would all reside.
Joy Mythology was a dope find. Yes, it was, Craig. Thank you.
Oh, I'll have to look into that. I haven't gotten into that yet. All the
Um,
mythology there.
but for Kirby, yeah.
But
Now,
remember, we're
were his
talking
rhymes corny
2023.
as I don't know what? Yes. Him rapping was so corny, but it fit him.
Would we keep his hair like this in 2023 though?
For Naruto style animation, that's the best we're gonna get, I believe. If it was 2023, I could see them giving texture to his hairlines. Because that flatness, no. Just
I think I'd like to
down
see
his hair
these as
just to indicate
locks.
it. No.
I think I'd like to see these as locks and turn it from like a platinum blonde to like more of a honey blonde.
Mm. Yeah, I think that might actually be dope, like a honey blonde.
Like similar to your hair color, but in locks. Hey Lala, we love you.
Yeah, we do. Okay, so for him, hair color change. But you know what? Every I felt like everybody's hair was white to a degree.
Everyone but
A lot
Karoe,
were,
yeah.
yeah.
Majority of them were. But that doesn't
Yeah.
mean that they didn't have to switch up. Like, these people are not all related. You know what I mean? Like, they just all
No,
live
right.
there. So I didn't understand why they did keep so many of the characters from the cloud with the same style and the same color hair. So I would like to see some. And B is so unique that I don't see him having a hairstyle that looks like A or that looks like Darwy and stuff. Like I just feel like he would just really go out there. Like it wouldn't surprise me if he changed his color even from like a honey blonde and just was like, I'm gonna be the only nigga here that got black hair.
Ooh.
Type deal. Like I could see even that because he would stand out.
And we all know he did not have an issue. He did his own thing from the time he was little until his final point. He was just, I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna stay true to me. So I can
Hmm.
see it.
About the African tribe one, yes,
Yeah.
they all have blonde. I'm only agreeing that for his character, the look would look, I think, a little better with the honey blonde. Not that there's not the African tribe. We know
Yeah.
about that one.
Yeah,
But
we know
just for
that.
his look, I think, yeah, that color would fit more.
Because I don't necessarily think that they were like, oh, this is how we're gonna. I don't think they based it off of that because his character in particular is not even based in necessarily African roots. So I don't think that
Mm,
that's where they were going with that. I think they probably designed his character, like I said, after Hulk Hogan, because we all know that they've said
yeah,
that. And then they were like, okay, well, let's make other characters from that somewhat similar. And so that's
definitely.
why a lot of the other characters have the white hair. But
The only
um
difference is I won't feel offended by being called brother by this one. That's all I'm
oh,
saying. This is less offensive. I feel more, he has more capability to be like, "Hey, what's up, my brother?" Like, I'm good with that. Mm-mm.
okay. So let's skip around a little bit. Let's jump to mainstream media. We're going to talk about live actions. I know y'all remember the character from The Walking Dead with the dreads and Lucius with this wig because I want to talk about wigs in Hollywood because what
They're
the
atrocious.
hell is this?
What
What
was
is
it?
this?
Even Diary of a Mad Black Woman, where
I
Shemar
just
Moore
refuse
had
to
that
go pull up
wig.
them videos again. I refuse to pull up them pictures again because we can't even use no real excuse behind that because Diary of a Mad Black Woman was made by a black man. We have no reason. There was no reason why Tyler Perry put them horrible wigs on any of them people on them shows and movies. It is not worse than 8 Mile. Yeah, but see, guess what? 8 Mile wasn't made by a black man, so that don't surprise me. But this Walking
Those are
Dead, and we get stuff like Michonne, which Michonne looks good, and I think a part of that is because of like the headband hides the hairline. But that guy from The Walking Dead, I remember when that aired, and I was just like, they did Dr. Dre so dirty. Because remember, he was Dr. Dre in Straight Outta Compton prior to him being shown on here.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, they did not do Dr. Dre like that. I was like, how dare they? The disrespect. And then the color. Pull that picture back up. Pull the picture back up. This color. Like, this is not. And don't get me wrong, all of our hair comes in different shapes, sizes, colors, but this isn't even necessarily a typical brown color. It was like they just decided they was going to do something different.
I'm sorry. Every
Yeah.
time I see Terrence Howard,
No part, no nothing. Like they had to have made that way yarn. Like I've had yarn locks before, and they look like that.
I can't.
So, um, so that's one of the things that we mean when we talk about hair in media. Things have gotten better. We have great forms of that, but those are some of the bad ones, and those are from the past 5 years. Those aren't even that old.
Right.
That's not even bad. That's atrocious. That is unforgivable.
Mm.
Like
Okay,
there's no
so
reason those should come out like that at all.
child, the disrespect. I'm done with them. They like. I'm pretty sure that was around the time I stopped watching both shows. Not because of the hair, but I'm gonna say it's because of the hair. But okay, so it was definitely it was definitely yarn. Like I don't care what nobody says. That's what that was. Let's jump to
Mm-mm.
Storm in the comic books because she has had so many different looks, and the white hair is iconic. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not changing a damn thing about the color.
Oh
Mm-mm.
no.
You gotta be crazy to touch it.
Like, what other color could she that? Because she's a gorgeous woman, so it's not like she can't pull off anything. But like, what other color could you give her that would have the same impact as that hair?
Blue. Her
Like, what
and
kind of blue?
like a stormy. Ooh, so you know how like there's gray hair and then there's like that storm silver gray. So if it was like a blue version of that, I feel like it would pop like a dark blue, not like a royal blue.
Hmm.
Okay.
Well, that is so beautiful.
It
See, like
is.
this, in my opinion, in all forms of media, and I may be biased because I'm just a stand for Storm.
Of course.
She is. I've never seen a character drawn better than Storm. In my personal opinion, the way they draw her characters, the way they switch up her hairstyles, her costumes. I've never looked at a version of Storm and been like, "This ain't it." Like, come on.
Now you got a point.
Have you ever
Yeah.
seen a drawn of her that just
And the volume on that picture.
in the night man that '90s animation? I'll stand by that. I'll
Yeah,
stand by the
definitely.
volume. The body is everything. Man, I got a picture of Storm right here.
Yeah, I was looking at mine too. Like, is she right
I got
here?
her everywhere. I got her everywhere. She is a black icon. She is one of the best representations of black anything in all forms of media, in my opinion. Storm is perfect. Move
Yeah.
along because she's perfect. She is. But now, with saying that, we are going to bring in Storm from the movies. We're gonna and see if there's anything that we would change. In particular, it's all of Halle Berry's looks. So, and I think this look, Aish, is the one that what you were talking about because the one where she has the flips, that third photo, it is like a blonde with like hints of blue in it. Because I remember
Hmm.
noticing it when they first did it, and I liked that look on her.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't
I'm
like it
more
when they like took it blonde. That
yeah.
throws it off. I
That
don't like
second
that.
one, yeah,
The
like I
Even
second
the
didn't.
and
fourth
the
one a
fourth
little
kind
bit.
of. Yeah, the fourth one is still nah.
It's getting into blonde territory compared to like,
Yeah.
yeah. What do we think about the hairstyles? I like that they gave her the kind of like the shortcut in the last one. Oh, like this is a classic lace front. And I remember when this came out, there was so much controversy about her wig in this first movie. Like when her hair was parted or when she had the bangs from that first photo in the collage. People were like talking crazy about it. They thought it looked cheap and everything. But looking back at it, I don't think it looked that bad.
I don't
No,
think it.
because we've seen worse.
I
I don't
like
think it
this
looked
look.
that bad. I needed more silver, like
Right.
just a little bit. But I just feel like as iconic as the animated and comic Storm is, they could have just brought a little more to her hair. This is very
Yeah.
like soccer mom to me.
Everything is
And
so flat.
and and in the comic, this type of hairstyle was just it it gave rich auntie. That gives
Hmm.
soccer mom. Like it's just a
Yeah.
difference.
And this is a weird blonde. Like I don't know if what they were doing with this particular movie. I want to say this was X2. Um
Yeah,
and
not a
I don't
fan of
know.
that color at all. And Shara's over there trying to take me out. I see you.
It's so pale. Like I think it changes her skin tone. It doesn't it
It
just
looks
doesn't pop
fake.
enough. It look yeah, girl, you can see the hairline. Like they take them edges down. That was before like really good lace fronts that like melted. Like remember how lace fronts were in like maybe like 7 to 10 years ago where you could always tell and it was like stuck down there and oh God, thank God for growth. Thank God for
Yeah,
growth because
there's not even a part in this.
nowhere.
It's just flipped over.
Not nowhere. I do like the little flips, but I prefer it better in the other look where she had more of like a gray blue look.
Mm. See, look at
See,
this.
slay
This is like what they were going for, but it did not hit. Like
read
it
that
was just
way.
flat with a weird like part. This is beautiful. Look at this.
Oh my God, I've never seen this picture,
I need
and
that
now
picture.
I'm
That's my
addicted.
favorite.
That is everything. So many great looks. And then like her brows having her that color and stuff, which I think
Hmm.
in all of the versions in the movie, they don't have her brows blonde like that, which doesn't make sense because her hair is clearly naturally that color. So her brows would be that color as well.
Oh, this one. It's
And
giving
I
Grace
think that was
Jones.
the
I
point.
just
I
love
think
it.
her hair was supposed to sometimes look like when it was like this. I think they were trying to make it look like a storm. Like I get
Yeah,
storm clouds from here. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, let's go to. I want to pull up the Cleveland show because we're not changing anything about Storm. We just know that the movie Storm needs to look like the art version of Storm. So
Mm-hmm.
okay, so we all know about the Cleveland show. It's a very funny adaptation of Black families, and I'm not gonna lie. My mom had this hairstyle when I was growing up. At one point,
I was
she
gonna say.
did. Like I think a lot of Black moms had this hairstyle when they were still perming their hair, and so this reads like my mom to me. And
But we know it's
uh,
her wig, though, right?
it
Yeah.
was her wig on the show, but back then,
Underneath that wig.
Hilarinder, but how do you know when Storm is rolling her eyes? That's actually I've never thought of that. You know what,
She
Craig?
would
Go to bed.
ask that.
Go to bed. But the daughter, because I never remember her name.
Roberta,
I Roberta. Oh
I
God,
think.
Lord. If my mama called me Roberta in any of the 2000s, like I would be like, you're trying to get me bullied in elementary school. Like, why? That's like people that name their kid like, um, I don't
No,
know. I can't think of anything right now. But
Bernie, Bernadette.
not
just
Bernadette.
something like
No, I
really
can't.
like old school, like I don't know. But the daughter Roberta, I like her look because it reads like she's a teenager. She's like in a new century where, highlights and
Hmm.
wigs or sew-ins are a thing. And I've personally worn my hair like that, where I had like the white blonde strip in the black, and it was
Nice.
recent. It was like last year. So I think that they did a really good job with the Cleveland show.
They did, because they had a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm. A little bit of diversity there. And I like, would you change, well, personality wise, would you change like Cleveland's hair or um let's see, Cleveland's hair or this, I feel like the son's
Lalo has a good
hair.
fro going.
I like the
Junior has
fro.
a fade.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I would actually change anything, especially when they have, like, they gave the insight to under the wig, so I feel like both fit perfectly.
I like that they did that. Um, that also goes back to the whole representation. Like, we do take off our wigs every now and again, you know?
And it's not always pretty under there.
It is not always pretty. Every time I see a fight video where a girl's wig gets snatched off and her hair isn't braided down, I'm like, you did this to yourself. I was like, you did this to yourself. Because if my wig ever comes off, there's gonna be some bomb prison slickbacks. Okay, they're gonna be fired. You're gonna be like, you know what, girl, you still cute. I'm gonna be like, I know. I'm gonna be fresh. But sometimes, like in between styles, it's giving very much Sealy. It's like the braids need to come out and be washed and stuff. Because I personally cannot braid hair. So
I can't either. So
I can't. So if I'm in between seeing the stylist, it's a little rough out there for me. We had Riley and Huey on here from Boondocks, which
yes.
you know, classic classic peak fiction for the culture. And it looks great on them.
I've always loved Huey's fro.
I've
Yeah.
always loved Huey's fro. And it makes sense, you know what I mean? And see, this is what I meant by with Sister Crone, where it was like you see like little pieces here and there or whatever that are out, but it's not disjointed.
Right.
Where it still looks like this looks like to me, you know, he woke up, he picked his hair out, and here we go. And it looks great.
It does. Can we unanimously say that we wouldn't touch it?
I would not touch it at all. Um, I think that yes, Sealy, very much. It's very much Sealy. I promise you. Well, let me stop lying. Like my hair texture is not Sealy's texture, but when the braids have been not properly braided down and they're just under a wig and like, you know, then they start looking like old yarn and stuff. That's when it becomes an issue.
So maybe
Um,
more Cleo from Set It Off than Sealy.
yeah, there we go. It's Cleo. Hmm. Still not my favorite look for myself, but but you know, every now and again, what must be done must be done. I just want to let's do just one last one. Actually, two last ones. Atsuko, she has a fro, and it's colored, and you know, this
I
looks
like it.
it looks great. The
I
blonde
like it
works.
because this looks like kind of it looks a little more natural, especially because her eyebrows are the same color. It
Hmm.
goes. I like it.
Yeah, I wouldn't change it.
Mm.
And I honestly, I would love to see it in. I wouldn't change it, but I would love to see her do different styles, like space buns. I love a good
Ooh.
space bun
Yeah.
look. Oh, even like space buns, and she had natural bang going, like have that twisted and just keep it twisted, and then have her
Mm,
space bun froze. I just think that would be so cute. She's obviously older though, but
I'm here for it.
yeah,
yeah.
it's giving everything it's supposed to give. So the only last one I wanted to do is Kawaii from Naruto because she has the red hair. So she is a little bit different than the other
Ah,
ninjas.
okay.
And I'm going to be honest, I always loved and thought she was so gorgeous in the picture to the left. But
The
on the
right is
right,
messing with me.
this hairline, like there is a thing where knowing like your head shape, like the forehead to hairline ratio is it's not my favorite.
It's
And
screaming coneheads.
I
I ain't
just
gonna
want to
hold
know, like,
y'all.
was it always like that? And we just didn't know because of the headband? Or is this like she done had
Listen,
kids and she tired and her hairline is pushed back?
No,
that's exactly what my forehead looked like. So I can't even. That's me. That's me right there.
but
Okay,
I don't think it's
it's square and
like
everything.
I get hat hair, helmet hair, like having a do rag on all day is laid down. Somebody could have like tossed that a little bit, so it's not just
That's
plastered to
me.
her head.
Listen,
I would have had to
that's what I
like
see every morning.
like no, because I feel. Let me tell you something. If when I take my wigs off, no lie, you see a full fledged tan line on my head because I pull my wigs down farther than where my actual hairline is. My forehead, I promise y'all, is bigger than this. But see, that's the power. That is the beautiful power of hair and wigs. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're never, like, you can count on one hand how many photos I have on Facebook of any hairstyle where my hair is pulled back aside from when I was in high school. Because I just be like, the five head is five heading. And yeah, like people be like, put it in a cute bun. I'm like, nope. My buns, anytime I wear my hair natural and stuff, it got to be like really high at the top of my head so
Yes,
like my curls come down into
yes.
my face.
This
So you
this is
already
me, y'all.
know.
This is me.
But you're also not walking around with your hair slicked back like that and
I've
bright
done it
red.
before.
With bright
I've,
red slicked back like that.
this is the color my hair is right now.
Oh,
This is me.
oh.
That's what I'm saying. This is me.
Well, girl.
Square
She
and
said, "I
everything.
am her." They are one.
Well, then we're not gonna change anything.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
Okay,
fine.
this.
okay.
Slay. I love this. Slay. Like, I think
Like
this
my hair
energy
is
didn't make
red
some
and
sense.
everything.
Oh goodness. Do you feel like your forehead looks bigger or smaller when you have your glasses on?
I don't know because sometimes I think it brings more attention to my face, and then other times I'm like, if they're big enough, it takes away some, landscape. So
Mm.
it depends.
Yeah, I wear
But I
when my natural hair is out. I'm usually wearing my glasses.
but I'm from a big head family, so this ain't nothing, new. All of us got big heads, so it's
Own it
fine.
proudly. Oh,
Hey, shout out to the big head queens. We out here. We out here living our
we out
best
here
life, you
deep.
know.
Oh,
So before we get out of here, I did tell y'all I was gonna put y'all on game. So I know that y'all saw the comment from a couple of comments from a guy named Johnny Nismo. But
yeah.
he has a anime merch line called Anime Yofuku. And so I did not do anything yesterday but run out and pick this up from him. And it has the logo on it. And he has a bunch of really reasonably priced fire ass street anime streetwear. And so I'm gonna stand up just so y'all can see the back of it. So you see it
I
has like
want it. I want it.
the whole thing and stuff
It's the
like that.
water breathing.
Yes, that's why I was like, I've never wore the earrings before, even though I've had these for years. I was like, this is the time. He also has these really cool like shorts, and y'all can tell who this is just by by my obsession. You know what I mean?
Oh my
Like they're
God. Do
Hisoka
not give the
shorts,
kids Jesus juice.
and inside, right here on the leg, where'd it go? On here on the leg, it got the spider.
We gonna have
So
a
these are like
conversation later,
workout
man.
style shorts and stuff. So he has all bunch of types of stuff. And I said that I was gonna rock it and rip it. Maybe one day we'll be brand ambassadors for him and stuff like that, you know, putting that out there cuz
I'm
but
always looking for good merch.
yeah, it's I love the fact that we're able to find more merch, but even like really good streetwear is hard to find that's not crazy expensive. So, so drop the link in the comments, so people can find it. And you're good. Anytime y'all start seeing me and stuff, I'll put y'all on game because you know you got to support. You got to support growing businesses and all of that stuff. So, but thanks, like that's our show. We covered Burning Rubber on HBO Max. Be sure to check that out. Um, you literally have no reason not to. It's only 8 minutes. You can literally do it right after you say your prayers at night and still be good, kind of thing. And so,
And no subs needed.
right, no subs needed, and it's gonna give you a good vibe. So check out that. And hopefully we continue to get more positive representation of people of color in animation. We definitely are leaps and bounds from where we were even 10 years ago. So let's just keep it moving and keep supporting Black creators, Black animators, Black voice actors, you know, the works, because that is how we get the best representation of ourselves out there in media. So,
Yeah.
with all of that being said, thank you for joining us. You already know I'm Ebony Moonbeam. You can find me at Ebony_Moonbeam on Facebook, IG, Twitch, TikTok, the works, cosplaying. Have not put out a cosplay in a while. I'm sorry. I'm still just super tired from DreamCon. I'm not even gonna
Yeah, I
lie.
was gonna say you recovering.
But I am gonna do something because I'm going to Beyonce next week. So I will be having some looks. They just ain't gonna be cosplays. But so yeah, follow that as well as follow the Waifu Views page on Facebook. We now have that. All of our shows this week, our previous shows have been dropping on the Facebook page. So if you saw some videos throughout the week, we were not live, but we were responding to your comments and stuff like that. And we are going to be here every Sunday at 8. So everybody tell them where they can find you.
Okay, hold on, I can't hear. All right, I am a Char of Honey. You can, I go by Honey Char, like a jar of honey, only sweeter. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, all that jazz, TikTok, at a Char of Honey.
I love it. Every time you say it, I love it.
I know.
Uh, for finding me, it's always going to be Asia Morgan on Facebook and everything else, whether it be TikTok, Twitch, IG. Um, you will see sunkissed_waifu.
Alrighty. So also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Follow the works at the Blurred Cartel on all social media pages, including YouTube. Blurred Official on YouTube. Go to blurred.com. Check that out. Like I've said before, there's Blurred merch. I got my Blurred bag at DreamCon. Finally, I was just telling Shar before the show that as much as I love this bag and it has so much space, it literally has so much space. Like shit just it'd be all at the bottom. I'd just be like digging and digging. It's like a magic it's like Hermione's bag that she just be putting all types of shit in or whatever, because there's literally so much space and the quality
It's
is
so
excellent. So
cute.
check them out. Also, shout out to the round table on Wednesdays. You know I'm there. I won't be there this week because I'll be out of town, but they always have a great show for you. Check them out. What it sound like, tapping no capping.
Welcome to
Um,
Hollywood.
Welcome to Hollywood. Bay Chan, Honey and Coco's back. So shout out
Yes.
to Shar for coming back and giving us more stuff. You just had a show with Venture Bros, right?
Yeah, it's up on YouTube and Facebook.
So be sure to check that out. And yeah, thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you guys later.